The Suicide Squad comes out next Friday. That's August 6th. Now, that's The Suicide Squad by James Gunn, not to be confused with Suicide Squad by David Ayer. But before that happened, I wanted to make a video about some of the theories I think will happen in the movie and my predictions of who will survive. So, with that said, spoiler warning, let's go. It's okay, I'm not okay. I feel the disarray of yesterday. So, from the trailers and the other promotional material, we know that there are at least two Suicide Squad teams in this movie. The first, from left to right, Rick Flag, the field leader, Savant, TDK, also known as the Detachable Kid, Captain Boomerang, Javelin, Mongal, Blackguard, Weasel, and Harley Quinn, who's not pictured in. And the second team being from left to right, King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, Rick Flag again, Bloodsport, Harley, Peacemaker, the Thinker, who I think they kidnap. I will get back to that later. Polka Dot Man, and just some random dude. So, why exactly do they need more than one team? Is there more than one mission, or does the first team fail? I think it's the latter. I think the first team fails. In fact, I think everyone dies aside from Harley Quinn, Rick Flag, and another member who we'll come back to at the end. The story. So Amanda Waller catches wind that Corto Maltese, some small little third world country, has gotten their hands on a weapon of mass destruction. The type of weapon that she warned against other countries amassing in the first film.
What if Superman had decided to fly down, rip off the roof of the White House, and grab the President of the United States right out of the Oval Office? Who would have stopped him? We got contingency plans for nukes in North Korea, anthrax in our mail, we got fluoride in our water. But what happens if the next Superman becomes a terrorist? Amanda Waller has a plan. Amanda?
I want to build a team of some very bad people who I think can do some good. Like fight the next war, defeat the next Superman.
Not on my watch. You're not putting those monsters back out on the street in our name.
General, we run them covertly, non-attributed, strictly need to know. And if they get caught, we throw them under the bus. The next war will be fought with these metahumans, ours or theirs. We're not the only ones kicking up rocks looking for them.
And she's right. Dictator Silvio Luna, along with his general Mateo, have designs of making big moves on the world stage with their superweapon, the nature of which causes them to enlist the so-called expertise of small-time criminal the Thinker in exchange for refuge in their country, whose knowledge gives him authority over all things mind-related, from telekinesis to telepathy. And that weapon? Starro the Conqueror, a giant extraterrestrial starfish with telepathic powers of immense proportion, and the ability to release spores that can attach to the face of its victim, facehugger style, and give it complete control over the host. With that type of power, any country could change the face of the world as we know it. So, Amanda Waller sends her team to stop this threat, or better yet, take it under their control so she could use it for her own nefarious purposes. Amanda sends her first team, who fail miserably and promptly seem to die at the hands of the Corto Maltese military, all except Harley, who was captured, and Rick Flag, who barely manages to make his own escape. He later returns with the second team to rescue his captured comrade and to complete the mission.
You gotta be kidding me. You're gonna risk the entire mission for a mental defective dressed as a court jester.
Destroy Starro or capture the powerful asset for his own country. They meet up with Amanda's secret informant, Alicia Braga, the relative of either the general or dictator who no longer believes in their megalomaniac schemes to conquer the world. She covertly leads them through the country, trying to get them closer to Starro. They capture and kidnap the Thinker and forcibly recruit him onto the Suicide Squad. The more Peacemaker hears of the dictator's plans and finds out about Starro, the more he realizes that this could help him achieve his own goals of acquiring peace for his country and, even on a greater scale, the world. We see in two separate occasions Peacemaker in conflict with both Bloodsport and Rick Flag. Maybe in his betrayal of the team, he attacks them, or maybe they find out of his betrayal. Either way, he fights both of them and maybe kills both of them before he himself is subsequently killed or dies in action. Director James Gunn has mentioned that there's two deaths particular that touch him every single time. I'd bet money that one of those is Polka Dot Man. In a moment of self-sacrifice, whether he's trying to stop the team's betrayer or defend it against Starro, I believe he is going to go down in a blaze of glory, and that is one of the most touching moments, or at least is intended to be the most touching moments that gets to James Gunn. I think the other being Bloodsport, someone who's, quote, lost his humanity, end quote, due to the life experiences, and through the course of the film probably regains it back. So I'm guessing that's another intended to be touching moment when he dies. Or who knows, maybe it's when King Shark, the team mascot, gets killed. That's when James Gunn feels sad, but I don't know. I'm thinking it's Bloodsport and Polka Dot Man. Just like the Enchantress before him, I believe Starro tries to persuade the Suicide Squad to join his cause. And the voice we hear at the beginning of the second trailer that we're led to believe is the Thinker, I believe is actually Starro talking to the Suicide Squad.
Supervillains. Sad souls in costumes. Wanting you to think they're all dark and deep. What's it like? Living life as a punchline. But all it would take would be one blessed act of rebellion for you to restore your dignity.
So who dies in the Suicide Squad? From the first team, TDK, Mongal, Javelin. We know he dies because we see Harley using his Javelin more than we see him using his Javelin. The Weasel, Blackguard, and Savant. From the second team, we have Peacemaker, and we know that his series is actually a prequel to the movie. Bloodsport, Polka Dot Man, and the Thinker. So that means they are survived by Rick Flag, Harley Quinn, who you know they're not going to kill off because she's the main character and she's also a woman, King Shark, and most likely the Ratcatcher because, you know, girl power and it's 2021. You don't want to kill off a woman. Also, wait, who is this? That's right. Captain Boomerang. I think in a surprise twist, he actually did not die on the first mission, but was captured and probably enslaved by Starro and those facehugger things that I mentioned in the beginning. And in the end, he'll be rescued and come stumbling out like, what's this? What happened? What's going on? Those are my thoughts and theories of who will die and who will survive in the Suicide Squad, and what will happen to drive the narrative along. But we don't have to wait too long to find out for sure. So after you go watch the movie, make sure you rush back to this video to see if I was right, who I got wrong, who I got right, who lived, who died. And before you do that, make sure you share your own thoughts and theories in the comment section below. Do any of you remember how originally the sequel to the Suicide Squad was going to be a vehicle to introduce Black Adam before it ended up being Starro and all the behind-the-scenes drama happened? Anyways, thanks for watching, and hopefully they release the Ayer cut, and all things wrong in the DCEU can be righted.
I'm a sucker for pain. I got the squad tatted on me from my neck to my ankles. The pressure from the man got us all